Here is an older smoke detector that resides in my stairwell. If the audio is kind of weird in this video, that's just because there's some kind of echo in the stairwell. It sounds weird even in person here. This was here when I moved in, when I bought this house. It did not have a battery in it at the time. And since I was told that smoke detectors wear out and expire, I put up a new one here next to it for insurance purposes. And I left this one in place because I thought it was cool to have an old one. I'm not really into smoke detectors myself, but like most things, I'll appreciate a vintage one if I see it. So I just had it up here. It's been up here for 3 years, and I never thought to try to test it out because, again, it just wasn't really of much interest to me. But this has made a background appearance in a lot of different videos, and I've received quite a good number of requests to power this on and see if it works. I've also been told that this is a rarer model, and I think I was told it was a Family Guard series. I don't see a brand on there. Maybe we'll see one when we open it up. In recent times, I've had 2 smoke and CO detectors fail. I've actually had 3 fail since I moved in this house, all 3 of which were installed in 2022, brand new. The first one I didn't think much of because, sometimes the equipment breaks. But now the previous 2, that's 3 over the course of like a year or 2 of just a couple-year-old detectors. It doesn't exactly instill a lot of confidence in the units. From what little I understand about these detectors, there's 2 different types available, one of which uses some type of radioactive or radiation from radioactive material to do the detecting, and that type could potentially wear out as that material becomes less radioactive or whatever happens, it decays over time. And then there's another type which I believe was called photoelectric, which probably doesn't wear out over time. So hopefully this one is photoelectric and it didn't wear out over time. I'm starting to think that maybe the move is to go around the house and put vintage detectors up next to all the new ones, because I really don't trust any of these new ones at this point. And the more I've thought about it, I'm starting to think that, like most vintage things, this is probably better, and it probably still works. So I know the way the battery changes is certainly easier. It just opens up like this. I guess the camera should probably be on the other side. And the camera is in fact balancing on a tripod on a stair, so this is not super secure here. I've already lost one camera this week. I don't need to lose another one. And this is what it looks like on the inside. I'm guessing that that's the detection apparatus. That might be the beeper. It says 9-volt battery, ever ready, and a bunch of part numbers, lists door cell part numbers. And it says, warning, use specified batteries only. Other batteries may cause improper operation. Constant exposure to high or low temperature or high humidity may reduce battery life. I still don't see a brand on this, so I don't know what the brand is. It says caution, radioactive material. So maybe this is an ionizing detector with the radioactive material. Chances are good it probably still works anyways. I don't know if that number is of interest to anybody. It doesn't mean anything to me. Oh, there's a date code or something on here anywhere. I'm not seeing one. Maybe there's one on the other side. I gotta get a screwdriver. These are definitely old screws. This has been up here for a long time. So there's the old color of the ceiling. Alright, on the back it says family card. There's the information. You can pause that and read it if you so desire to. It says contains radioactive material Americum 241-1.0 microcurie. It does not have a date code that I can see. I guess Family Guard is probably the brand. Model number FG777D. Alright, well, let's put this back up and test it out. And for the sake of ease of changing the batteries, I think I'm going to change the orientation to be like this. Oh, no, I can't do that because the screws are different. Different, whatever, something. I'm hungry. Oh, that's weird. It's not like a turn and lock thing. It's the screw positions are on the same side. Okay. So I have no idea what this sounds like or how loud it is, etc. But here we go. I'm going to put the battery in. Oh, I don't like that. It feels like it's going to break. Alright, here we go. I would have expected some kind of a chirp or something out of it when the battery was first installed. Sounds like a regular detector. It's pretty loud. I was kind of hoping it would have some kind of unusual sound to it, but that's fine. Alright, so that's working, or so it seems according to the test. Let's go ahead and make some smoke and see if it goes off. I have a feeling that it's going to work. Well, this is not working, but that's not a fault of the detector. That's a fault of this setup here. There's probably much better ways to do this. I just don't know of them. That's probably that. Oh, there it goes. Or was that some kind of failure notice? That didn't sound like a typical, I don't think that was enough. That didn't sound like a regular, it should be the 3 beeps. Is that what it sounds like when it goes off? I don't know. This thing might be working. That works, and that is sensitive. Holy cow. Well, I think that proves everything we needed to know. It's working perfectly. Well, it's in service now, once again. And I would not be surprised if there was an actual emergency that it goes off much sooner than that one. In fact, I suppose just for the curiosity, we should test it. Now this one is, I guess, at a bit of a disadvantage because the smoke is not going to accumulate up against the wall like it is up against the ceiling, but hardly any smoke set the other one off. I don't think we're going to have a problem if it's working properly. Well, that worked. Alright, so they're both working. I still feel like the older one is more reliable, but yeah, interesting. Well, for all the people that were interested in this, there you go, and it's back in service.